Da-da, da, da-da. Welcome back to Healthy Living with Christina Sichangwa. As always, I am honored to be before you. I don't take this blessing lightly. With that said, I would do what I always do and make sure that every single person likes, shares, or subscribes. So I'm very excited. I feel like a child in a candy store, a toy store. I'm a huge fan of feedback, and the team and I were able to launch out a very simple survey. It literally just had 2 questions where we wanted to hear from the followers what questions they've had based off of what we've done so far. Also, what maybe future topics would they like to see, like what's something you'd like to see me talk about. So just in case you weren't able to access this survey, I will post it in the comment section, and I will also ask that maybe if you are confident enough, since the survey was anonymous, but if you're confident enough to just ask in the comment section, please go ahead. So let's get into it. Okay. Next question. What advice would you give someone who may be aspiring to be a pastor's wife? Okay. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, let me not say I don't know. I would say, like, you have to understand that this person, like, it's not like marrying an accountant, or okay, no, it is a lot like marrying an accountant or a doctor. Though they are not in the hospital suturing someone or something, they still think like a doctor, function like a doctor, eat like a doctor. Most of the doctors are related with, even when they're not in the ward or whatever, even their language, will be a certain way. Especially if you're maybe around the females. I'll give an example of females. They'll, as much as they can, maybe try and debunk myths based off of what they've seen, right? So living with a pastor, being with him, you have to kind of understand that it's like a nature. It's who he is. It's not something he wears and then takes off. And I believe knowing that will make your role as a helper so much like easier. Yeah. So for me, I feel like when I got born again and was navigating my salvation, I was on the route of being a pastor myself. So it wasn't, I don't know how to explain it. I wasn't really looking to marry a pastor, like, so I took like classes and stuff, no. But then when I did get into a relationship and I did meet the guy, we both knew that this is where his life was headed. So I did ask for help. Most of the people who are in my circles are married to pastors, and I'm very close to my pastor. And yeah, so I think it's kind of like very similar to what I explained in managing transitions. Like, certain things are inevitable, but as much as you can still prepare, which I believe is where this question comes from. Like, how do I prepare? For you to be anything, let's say a good leader, a good deaconess, a good wife, a good, all of these things, you just have to be a good Christian. And it's honestly the absolute truth. For instance, they read your Bible, pray every day. Hey, pray every day. That's a culture you already have, like, for yourself. That's why I was talking about how for me, I don't think it was very hard, because there's already a certain standard of living I was, accustomed to. So when my husband wants to pray for people, counsel people, it's not hard because we both do the same thing. Yeah. And so being a good Christian, I think, has allowed me, like, loving him unconditionally and everything the Bible tells us to do. Enjoy your husband. those are the things I feel like that really helped me transition, and it was a lot. It's the things that I think helped me prepare, for lack of a better term. The beautiful thing about the office, though, that a pastor's wife holds, is you get to know this person as, you know, a man of God as well as a man. So you're able to see where you can bridge the gap to ensure that they are comfortable. I'll give an example. Like, my husband loves instruments. I can't even explain it. Like, once he sees those things and touches those things, like, it's a miracle to get him away from one. And last year for his birthday, I got him a guitar, like, and I remind myself when he's playing it 24/7, and that's how I'm waking up in the morning. Remind myself that I got it for him. And for him, it's a statement to show him, like, I support him and the things that are important to him. So yes, that's what I mean. Like, being his best friend has allowed me to spot where I can, certain things that maybe not most people can spot, and where I can help him even when it comes to ministry. So being you, all of these things, developing your character, they are also the things that make you a pastor's wife. Yeah. Next question. How has your experience been from being a deaconess to a first lady of the church? I'm still a deaconess. Very similar to the pastor's wife question, though. Like, again, the managing transitions thing. The funny thing is, I didn't have a challenge, let's say, feeling like, oh my God, how will I fill in the shoes? Because I didn't marry a pastor from another church. We've been together from the inception of the City of the Lord Church. So we've worked, we know the system. We've worked from, you know, from the bottom together. So it's easy, really. It is easy. It does have its challenges, again, because we've worked together. So that's the only thing I'd say has been a challenge for me. I serve in many capacities in the church. You know, I was head of department, the director of campus ministry and whatnot. So being a pastor's wife, I kind of had to, like, when I'm running the fellowships and the universities and stuff, it's kind of easy for me to be like, do, go, shani. But being a pastor's wife, it's more like, let me ask pastor and pastor will guide kind of situation. Like, I think that's the only thing that is different, or was different. I very much had to do that. Also, I worked so much in administration that it was systems. Like, how do you do this? How do you do the administration? I'm good at that. I literally have awards upon awards. But this was the first time I felt like you understand the magnitude of each soul, right? Like, I don't know. It made me love people literally more, love them even more as individuals, because I was now relating with them like one-on-one. Like, being a pastor's wife for a first lady is different, because, like, the difference is, let's say when I'm working with systems, right, and they tell me, oh, we can't host this meeting, receive the maybe like rejection letter, I'll be like, oh, okay, let's work on it, let's do da 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 da. But then when you're dealing with people's lives, like, someone is going through something, and you can't just be like, it is well, God bless you. No, it's your issue as well. It changes how I pray, how I can't go through the day without wondering, is this person okay? Are they better now? Like, it's like their breakthrough is my breakthrough. It's different. It's honestly different. I love every single one of them. I want to see them better. I found myself crying for hours simply because I feel like someone is retrogressing, and it hurts because I really just want to see them get to a certain place. So for me, I think the biggest, most beautiful transition is what it's done to my heart, and how much it's made me love people. Otherwise, transitioning with regards work, for instance, administration, again, I used the same methods. I went back to my pastor and I asked him, what are your expectations of me as a first lady? And he said, be a good deaconess. And now that's right up my alley. So it wasn't a challenge, kind of just adjusted. Okay, so the last question for now, I'm going to answer one more question. How do you handle unexpected situations? Like you mentioned on the channel before, life just naturally happens. So what's the best way of handling when life happens? Okay, something I've had to tell myself a lot, especially this week. I'm going to give an example. I'm very systematic. I've said that a million times. So I gave an example of how I had to be flown here. I've talked about this before. I had to be flown here and because of my health and the baby's health. And in the process, like, a lot of things just happened. And this isn't really how I envisioned. This was not my birth plan and all of that stuff. And yet, I mean, I did have a plan. So I think all the steps of managing transitions did help me. For instance, planning. So the fact that, I had savings and all of that stuff, when emergencies happened, I felt so good in the moment. One of the things that would help me calm down was, like, I was grateful that I knew such principles that put me in a place that I wasn't stranded, when emergencies did occur. Another thing I loved was how much I had built a system, like, with regard support. So when something like that happened, I wasn't alone. I didn't feel like I was dealing with it alone. Unfortunately, though, a completely unexpected thing that happened was my husband being away. So for me, I don't know, in as much as I had all these things, we saved, we planned, oh my God, that it was like a slap in the face. And I honestly take it a day at a time. I can't say I dealt with it, it's in the past, I know it's for our good and all of that stuff. I already know all of that stuff, but my God, every day I'm used to being with my husband. He's the love of my life. I miss him so much. Every day I feel like I wake up different. Sometimes I wake up and I feel like he's leaning on me, and I'm the person who's like, come on, you're doing great. Look at all the things you're achieving. And sometimes I'm like, I hate this. Just come home now. So I don't know. To be honest, I take it a day at a time. The most beautiful thing I have found is that being vulnerable and being okay in the presence of God. Because I'm so human and God is so God. When I'm faced with a moment of weakness, I'm not even beating myself up about it. I don't feel like I'm being a selfish person. When I'm hit with a moment, I come to understand his strength is made perfect in my weakness. So I'm so okay. I'm okay. Sometimes it happens randomly. I could be eating and tears are streaming down my face, oh my God, my husband eats too. It happens, honestly. So when life happens, I take it a day at a time. I remember one of the examples I gave was the death of my dad. Never expected that in a million years. And I still take it. There were times I'm like, yeah, I'm healed. I love my daddy. I miss him. And I see someone driving a car just like he's dressed just the way he is. And I'm on the road, for a millisecond, I'm lost. And like I said, I take it all in, maybe shed a few tears because I miss the man, I don't know. And I go on with my life. What I'm simply trying to say is I don't try and dwell on the moment, because, I have those minds which overthink things. I won't be there oh my God, how dare, if he wanted to, he should ditch everything. No, I really do take it a day at a time, and it's okay. But I think I answered a similar question in the beginning. Also, it's about trying to bridge the gap between real reality and my ideal. So sometimes I sit, rather than being mopey, I do sit and I think about all the beautiful things I want to do when I see him, and how much I will fresh the whole world because I just want to be with my husband. And all those things, they make me happy. They do. And also, another thing that helps is I don't have unrealistic expectations where everyone's like, listen, girl, you got it, it's gonna be people are trying their best. But then the reality is too, I'm the person going through this. Not everyone understands exactly how I'm feeling, and I'm okay with that. Even that, honestly, I'm okay with it. I'm really just trying. And so sometimes I feel like they'll give me advice that is triggering, maybe oh my God, it's just been 2 months. It's just 1-2 more months, and no, oh my god, no. But I'm like, it's okay, they don't understand, I don't take it personally. And that just has made him and I closer, because he gets it, I get it, and we like lean on each other. So taking it a day at a time, leaning 100% on God, I feel like is one of the best ways I've dealt with situations when life happens. Because funny enough, in my life happens. Okay, so I'll continue answering the questions in the next video, because I really didn't want to rush through the questions and all of that time, because I'm all of that being pregnant. Yeah, I didn't want to rush through. I wanted to take my time, because I honor every single one of these. If you even just sent me the letter T, I would be bawling from how much I honor feedback. It means everything to me. And so I wanted to take my time with each question. And yeah, so I'll be ending this video here, and then I'll shoot the continuation of the questions next week, because I also want to give the YouTube family who may not have seen it an opportunity to just send in their questions.